Hey ladies and gentlemen, this is HD, welcome back, and it's time for another set of games from the IPL4 online qualifier because as you guys all know, I'm going out to Las Vegas, Nevada. I'm gonna go get married, I'm gonna go gamble away all my money, and I'm gonna go cast some StarCraft 2, and I hope you guys will all be there. If you guys get a chance, make sure to get your tickets. They are on sale right now. The links are down below, and if you guys are too late to get your tickets, well, you guys can also tune in at twitch.tv/IGN Pro League or justin.tv/IGN Pro League. They are one and the same. And I decided to go ahead and cast a different set of players here, and I was looking through the replay pack I was sent, and I recognized one name here, and that is Liquid TLO. He is the blue Zerg down here in the bottom left-hand corner, and as I'm saying this right now, I'm remembering that he did make the switch after he came back from the carpal tunnel syndrome that he had. Remember, guys, TLO took a break from StarCraft 2 because, you know, doctors ordered him to take a break, and when you're an athlete and doctor orders you to take a break, you better take a break, right? So he came back, and ever since then he's been playing Zerg. And remember, guys, back in the beta, TLO was infamous for playing random, so he really likes to play different matchups, and I guess now he's decided, you know, Terran's not for him anymore and he wants to roll with Zerg. And I love the little one, man. TLO is one of the best players in the world. He's so fun and interesting to watch, very creative player. And let's see what he's got in store for us today. He's opened up with a pretty quick spawning pool. That is I believe that's a 10 pool, so that's a really, really fast spawning pool. And he was scouted out by Choya. Choya is the red Protoss down in the bottom right-hand corner of the map, is Shakura's Plateau. Choya is from FXO. He's a Korean player, so we have a Korean versus a German here. The heartthrob TLO and one of the top Koreans, Code S and Code A, Choya. So this should be pretty interesting. Choya did open up with exactly what you're supposed to do. A forge at the front door, and then cannon inside the mineral line. Now, you might be thinking, well, of course, the Zerg can then just, you know, take out the forge and the pylon, but hey, at the end of the day, much better to lose that than to lose this. And at the same time, if you're really good with Protoss, what you do is then you start to build cannons on the Zerg side, because if he's sending Zerglings at you, well, he's not going to have very many Zerglings to defend against your cannon rush. So we'll see if Choya does that or not. We do have a drone coming out for TLO, so he's going to try to transition into a hatchery. And of course, TLO being creative as always with this early pool build. He's going to go for the pylon first. Doesn't want this to get walled off, I suppose. And that's not a bad idea, but sometimes you might want to get that forge down too. And let's see if he goes after that as his second target. He will. He only made 2 Zerglings. Wow, he really only made 2 Zerglings off of a 10 pull, so not the most efficient way to open up the game, but, you know, TLO is TLO, and he can do damn well whatever he pleases. He's going for the forge right now. It is starting to drop down in health, or at least shields, and health will follow shortly thereafter. A new forge is coming up, though, for Choya, who realizes he really needs the ability to be offensive and defensive at the same time, so he's replacing the forge inside the main, and I don't think TLO sees the cannons coming. No, he doesn't, making the mistake not to send the Overlord over to the natural, and that cannon could just do him in. In fact, there are 2 cannons now coming up, and I love the placement by Choya too, because if he puts a pylon or something here, the only opening that Zerglings can come in and attack is right there, and maybe right there. Not really the most efficient way to attack a grid of photon cannons behind your natural expansion. So I think Choya is in a great spot right now. A Zealot is on the way right now as well. Photon Cannon number 1 is coming up, and Photon Cannon number 2 is up. And now, the little one is going to be in a lot of trouble. I don't really know how he's going to be able to defend this. He might just have to sacrifice the hatchery, and a 3rd Photon Cannon as well. That's almost borderline overkill. Sometimes I feel like if you're Protoss, you know, throw down 2, and then, you know, you're pretty much going to guarantee the natural goes down. But hey, Choya wants to make sure that he gets that overkill, and, you know, make sure that the TLO is out of the game. And on top of that, he can also build more cannons leading into the main if he so pleases. The Queen here coming really close to the photon cannons. Not sure what that Queen was thinking. It will get taken out. And now Choya is in a fantastic spot. He's expanding as well, and gonna re-erect that wall at the front door. So I don't really know what the little one's gonna do now. He's making a Roach Warren. So TLO is going to try to go for roaches, I suppose, and try to get some roaches out on the field. Very interesting game right now. The natural has gone down. The Brootlings pop out. The Brootlings can't really do anything to photon cannons. They might be able to whittle the shields down, but that's really not going to be helpful. And now the only real use that came out of that hatchery was the larva that popped out along with the queen and the inject larva. Oh, one of the eggs got popped. So we can see TLO is making a bunch of roaches and Zerglings, and he's going to try to well, basically all in the, after he cheese, he's going to try to all in after that. And this is one of those circumstances where all in definitely makes a lot of sense. So TLO also making a Baneling nest. Interesting. So he wants to go with a Roach Baneling attack. Of course, by going with Baneling nest, that does mean he has to wait more time for the Baneling nest to finish and to morph his Zerglings into Banelings. So during that time period, I really feel like Choya is just going to be able to wall this off very easily. Of course, there are some weak points here. There's a pylon right here and a pylon right here. Let's see what TLO goes for. The Baneling nest is about to finish. TLO just kind of poking and prodding the front door right now, trying to take out that pylon. The Zealots come down the ramp. Notice there's really no upgrades right now. No Roach speed, no Zealot speed, nothing really. And here comes the Banelings. There are some Zealots behind the pylon, as well as a great line of photon cannons too. Oh wow. We're just playing Defense Wars right now, and I think Choya is going to be in a really, really good spot. He can even warp into the back of the Zerg main here once he gets Warp Gate done as well, so keep that in mind. And now, whoa, TLO's expanding to this location just outside the Protoss front door. Well, this is definitely creativity at its best, and we'll see if this works for the little one or not. First, though, he's got to blast through the wall of Zealots. Then he's got to blast through the wall of Photon Cannons. And then whatever units he's got left is how he's going to get into the fresh underbelly of the Protoss Natural. So we'll see how effective this is. Oh, love the gateway, though, from Choya. That's really smart. And unfortunately, doesn't have room to place a stronger building here, just a pylon. So there are some weak points, and we'll see what happens. I love the Roach placement by TLO. He blasts through that pylon as it's coming up, and I love how he's holding positioning on the Roaches. And here comes a Baneling squad. It's getting really big, guys. But, oh wow, now Choya, I guess there was room to fill that up with another gateway. So maybe it was better in TLO's interest to just let that pylon finish, because now he's got to blast through a 1,000 health gateway. Of course, he is whittling it down, not allowing it to get to full HP nor shields. But damn, Choya really knows what's up, man. He definitely sent the Zealots downfield, and he saw the Banelings. He knows what's gonna happen, but this is just a Mexican standoff right now. Both sides have their guns ready to go, and we'll see if TLO busts through or not. I think it's about time, and it is. And here comes the little one going through, but there's a sentry, and the force field comes down. All the gateways, however, come crashing down as the Baneling detonations are just too much for the gateways to handle. They were weakened by the Roaches, and here comes TLO with all the Roaches and Zerglings. Will he have enough to blast through this? There are 5 photon cannons at the meantime, destroying his army. A lot of probes have gone down as well, but I think Choya is going to make the hold. And of course, remember, he does have this Nexus up, and I think Choya did just make that hold. So GG calls TLO, and TLO leaves the game. Well, that's definitely a creative game by the little one. You know, his back was against the wall. I don't really know why he opted to open up for that. I think it was a 10 pull. Let's just go ahead and rewind and make sure, guys. But I'm pretty sure it was a 10 pull coming out of TLO, and I'm not too sure why he did that. If he is just going to make 2 Zerglings, you know, I thought he would have made a lot more than that. So let's see. Oh, it was actually a 7 pull. So he was planning to just go for the straight up 7 pull. I guess that's why he switched to Zerg. He just wants a 7 pull every game. We'll have to see if he does it in game 2 or not. But yeah, keep your eyes peeled, guys, because after this there will be game 2. Also, if you guys click the links down below, you guys can get your tickets for the Cosmo, as well as the link for tuning in this weekend. It starts on Friday at 10 a.m. Pacific. And that's about it, guys. I'll see you guys in the next video. Hope you guys enjoyed. And TLO coming at you in game 2 versus Choya. HD signing off.